What's going on, guys? It's StrangeLuv here, and I've got this jewel of a game for you. It's called Syndicate, and for those of you who have not heard of Syndicate, it's a first-person shooter, and there's a single-player mode and a co-op mode, which is what I'm playing right now. I'm playing the co-op demo with Mr. Normal and a couple of randoms, and it's really fun, let me tell you. It has this Crisis 2 feel to it, and a little bit of undertones of Mass Effect, only because it's so sci-fi and futuristic. It's supposed to take place in 2060-something, where the whole world has no more government. There are just these factions called syndicates that run everything. And the way that the people interact with the technological world is through microchips that are implanted into their brains. That's how everybody interacts with any sort of technology. And you know that where there's computers, there's hackers. And that's sort of your position. You work as an agent for one of these syndicate factions. And you have to pretty much do corrupt things, go around and hack people's brains, make them kill themselves, and do all kinds of stuff. It's really interesting. You can hack into other machines just by using your own microchips. There's even parts to this game where you have to kill an enemy and then rip out their own microchip. It's called a chip rip. It's pretty brutal, but it's still fun nonetheless. To me, the best part about the co-op that I loved about this game are the guns. The feel of the guns are awesome. They feel really realistic, and how these guns shoot are how the guns in Battlefield 3 should have felt for the console. I'm not talking about the PC, so don't get on me about that, but the way that the shooting in Battlefield 3 is on the console is just a little bit off because they didn't make it for the console. But in this game, the guns have a perfect sway to them. Definitely not going to compare this to Call of Duty at all because that is not the kind of shooting style that this is. But the guns feel really realistic, and given the circumstances of who you're shooting all these bad guys that have really heavy armor on. The guns make sense to me, and that's how it should be. But anyway, they weren't kidding when they said co-op, because you cannot make it through the co-op mode without healing each other and working together as a team. They put extra emphasis on healing. You'll see me in this gameplay go up to teammates and it says breaching and a little bar above them. That means I'm healing them, and sometimes I'll get healed so my screen turns blue and stuff. But you definitely need to do that constantly because these bots in this game are really strong and they're actually kind of smart for, you know, the computer AI. So you need to definitely constantly heal your teammates and make sure you watch each other's backs. Don't just run out there and try to be a hero, because that's not how this game is set up. There's no competitive multiplayer for this, so co-op's where it's at. And co-op requires you to definitely work together. So it sucks when you get a team of a bunch of random people who don't really work together. They just try to run out there and then they get killed, and then you have to try to heal them, which takes forever, let me tell you. Once they actually get downed and you have to try and heal them and they're just sitting there, it's almost over at that point. But they have a nice feature where you can kick players. It has to be a unanimous vote. But if somebody's just AFK and they're just sitting in the corner not moving, or if they're just being a douchebag and they're not going where they're supposed to go, and you can't move on to the next section without them, then by unanimous vote you can kick them out, go on with 3 people or however many, and it'll try to find a new person to join your lobby for you. I think that's a pretty nice feature, and sometimes I kind of think that it should have that in other first-person shooters, even in multiplayer and stuff like that. When you have like a horrible teammate or somebody boosting or something, you should just be able to unanimously kick their ass out, because there's nothing more frustrating than trying to work as a team for something that requires you to work as a team, and you just get some douchebag on your team, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's something nice about this game. I also think that the point distribution is pretty balanced. When you get a kill assist, it's based on how much work you actually put into killing an enemy, not just some generic 20-point kill assist while somebody else gets the full credit for doing nothing, you know, breathing on them and they die. So I think it's pretty balanced, and there's definitely an emphasis on teamwork. You have to work together. If you breach a door or breach an objective together, it'll go faster. And communication is definitely key, because there are some points in this where if somebody opened a door too early, there would just be a swarm of enemies, and it would just make it that much harder for everybody to get through to the next level. So don't just run out there and kill everything yourself, or try to think that you can, because you can't. Like, you need to just work together, heal each other, communicate, and this will be a really fun experience. I'm actually really looking forward to the different map types for the co-op mode in this. I guess it's not just shooting. By my understanding, there's parts in it where you have to actually do puzzle solving as a team. Supposedly there's going to be maps where you have to get an object from A to B, or you have to just solve a puzzle together. It's not just about shooting a bunch of enemies. And I think that's a really neat dynamic, you know, so it's kind of bringing in the elements that you would normally find in the single player mode and making it co-op. And since there's no competitive multiplayer, I guess they really had to put a lot of work into the co-op and make it interesting. So I had a lot of fun playing the demo, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Syndicate, and if you get the game yourself, I am down to play some co-op with you guys, as long as you're not one of those AFK bastards who sits in the corner, because you're gonna get kicked. Just be prepared. Well, anyway, this is StrangeLuv signing out for now. Let me know what you think of Syndicate if you've given it a try. Syndicate is out today in the US, and it'll be out in a couple days in Europe. Please make sure to rate and subscribe, and I will see you next video. Bye-bye!